Hi, hello students. Welcome to Indian Tech Guru for you. In today's class, let us continue the previous topics. So let us know about the main memory or RAM, how it is organized. So main memory is a sequence of registers we can think of. Okay. So for example, assume a main memory of 1 KB, 1 kilobytes. And if you assume we are using a 32-bit word, 32-bit word for data transfer. So 32 bits means how many bytes? 4 bytes. So what does it mean? Each word requires 4 bytes. What is the total memory capacity? 1 kilobytes. 1 kilobytes means 1024 bytes. 1024 bytes. Okay. So among these 1024 bytes, each word, because each word consists of 4 bytes, how many addresses we need? 1024 by 4 bytes. So 256. So how many addresses we need? We need 256 addresses. So what is the range of these addresses? 0 to 255. 0 to 255. So as we already discussed, we are going to represent the addresses in hexadecimal format. So 0 is represented as 0x00. 0x00. So what is the value for 255? 1111 1111. So these 4 ones are represented by F. These 4 ones are represented by F. And if you proceed 0x, so from 0x00 to 0xFF, this will be the address range for how much memory? For 1 KB memory. For 1 KB memory. Like this, we are going to address the main memory. So if the size is increased, then the number of address locations will be increased, and accordingly we are going to represent the addresses. Okay. So if it is a 64-bit word, if you are maintaining 64-bit word, then once again the number of addresses, the number of address locations will be decreased. Okay, because each byte is going to occupy 64 bits, the number of address locations will be decreased. So the addresses range from 0 to r-1, 0 to r-1. Here it is ranging from 0 to 255. Here the R value is 256. Similarly, if the RAM capacity is 2K words, if the RAM capacity is 2K words, 2K words means 2 into 1024, one word occupies 32 bits. 32 bits means 4 bytes into 4. Okay, so this is the RAM capacity. This is the RAM capacity. So how many address lines we need now? Divided by, assume that we are using a 32-bit word, then 32-bit word requires 4 bytes. This 4 cancels. 2 into 1024. 2 into 1024 means 2048. So totally how many words are there? 2048 words are there. So that is why we need addresses from 0 to 2047. 0 to 2047. Like this we can determine the number of address locations required. Okay. So as they have given the 2K words, then how many address locations we need? 2K address locations, because they have already given that there are 2K words. Okay. So for 2K words, how many data input lines we need? We need n data input lines. We need n data output lines. We need k address lines, and the operations performed on RAM are read operation and write operation. Read operation means we are going to fetch a particular information from an address location and store in register. Write operation means we are going to store the content of a register into the memory location. So these are the things we need to know about the main memory or RAM. In the previous class we discussed about the register transfer micro operations and we have seen how to perform these micro operations. So in addition to register transfer micro operations, in computer system there will be several types of micro operations. So let us see what are the types of micro operations. There will be 4 types of micro operations. So they are register transfer micro operations, arithmetic micro operations, logic micro operations, and shift micro operations. Okay. So what is the purpose of register transfer micro operations? We need to transform the data from main memory to register memory, as well as from register memory to main memory. So those represent register transfer micro operations. So as well as sometimes we may want to change the content of the register itself. So those type of operations are also represented by register transfer micro operations. So similarly, as far as the arithmetic micro operations are concerned, already we know inside of the computer there will be arithmetic logic unit, ALU, which is going to perform the arithmetic operations as well as the logical operations. So the micro operations needed to perform the arithmetic operations are called as arithmetic micro operations. The operations needed to perform the logic micro operations are called as logic micro operations. Similarly, in addition to arithmetic logic micro operations, we need shift micro operations. Shift micro operations means we are going to shift the content of the register either to the left side or to the right side, and accordingly we are going to change the value of the content of the register. Okay. So those type of micro operations are called as shift micro operations. So already we discussed about the register transfer micro operations. So we will be discussing about arithmetic micro operations, logical micro operations, and shift micro operations now. And before going to arithmetic micro operations, let us once again review what are the register transfer micro operations we have already discussed. See here in this table, we have summarized the register transfer micro operations we came across. So whenever we say A assignment B, what does it mean? We are going to transfer the content of register B to register A. Next, similarly, AR assignment DR of D. What does it mean? We are going to transfer part of the content of the register DR, What is that part? AD part to the register AR, for example, assume that this is the DR register. This is the DR register, and the lower part is named as AD, the upper part is named as BD. Then now what I am doing, I am going to transfer the lower part of the register DR to the register AR. Like this we can transfer a part of the register also to another register. Similarly, A assignment constant. What does it mean? We are going to transfer a binary constant value to register A. Similarly, the next register transfer micro operation is A bus assignment R1, comma R2 assignment A bus. So this entire operation is a single operation. So we are separating the two operations to be performed simultaneously, we are separating them with a comma. Okay, whenever you are going to perform more than one micro operation, those two micro operations need to be separated by comma. Okay, so what are the two micro operations here? A bus assignment R1, R2 assignment A bus. So here A bus represents the bus named with A, the bus named with A. So these two operations will be performed at the same time. First, the contents of register R1, will be transmitted to bus A. So transfer the content of R1 into bus A, and coming up to this particular operation, the contents of bus A will be transmitted to register R2, and both these operations will be performed at the same time. So because we are separating these two operations with comma and considering this as a single micro operation. Next one, MAR. MAR represents already we discussed memory address register. Memory address register. It is used to fetch a particular content information from the main memory to be stored in a particular register. MDR means memory data register. It is used to store the data that has been fetched from the main memory into the register before moving it to general purpose registers. Next, M of R. So M of R means it is a memory word specified by register R. That is, sometimes what we are going to do is, in addition to passing an address, we are going to pass a register value also, to fetch a particular information. So this particular register is going to contain the address. Okay. So actually, we are going to give the address location to be fetched from the main memory. So however, sometimes we may give the register value also, where the register contains the address to fetch a particular value. So next one, M. So whenever we say M, it is equivalent to M of MAR. That is, we are going to specify a particular address location represented by MAR. For example, MAR is going to represent 0xFA, and this is the location 0xFA. Then whenever we say M of MAR means M of 0xFA. So what does it mean? We are representing this particular address location. Okay. Next, we have discussed about the read operation and write operation. So as far as the read operation is concerned, MDR assignment M of AR. Sometimes we may say M of MAR. So both AR as well as MAR are going to represent the same. AR means address register, MAR means memory address register. Both are going to specify a particular address location in main memory. So as we have seen, if I say M of 0xFA, it is going to fetch the content from this particular location. So what does it mean? So this statement means, if assume that AR is equal to 0xFA, then what MDR assignment M of AR is going to do? It is going to fetch the value that is stored in 0xFA. For example, this particular address location is having a value of 55. Then it is going to fetch the value 55 and store in MDR. So this operation is called as the memory read operation. Similarly, we can perform the memory write operation also. So this can be written like this, or sometimes we may write M of MAR, M of MAR assignment MDR, M of MAR assignment MDR. What does it mean? Assume that MDR contains the value of 75, and MAR is equal to 0x A2, then what will be the statement? M of 0x A2 is equal to 75. What does it mean? For example, assume that the 0x A2 location is here in main memory. Then we are going to store the content 75 in this particular address location. So this operation is called as the memory write operation. Okay. So these are the basic register transfer micro operations we have discussed. Go through once again. Remember these operations. What is the basic purpose of these operations? We are going to move the content from one particular location to another location. So that is a basic necessity of these operations. Now let us move on to the arithmetic micro operations. Coming to the arithmetic micro operations, the basic arithmetic micro operations we know already are addition, subtraction, increment, decrement. However, we know some additional micro operations also, arithmetic micro operations also, such as multiplication and division. So these are also arithmetic micro operations. However, to do these arithmetic operations, it is somewhat complicated compared to addition as well as subtraction. So that is why we'll see how to perform these multiplication and division micro operations later. So rather, these are not micro operations. As I have said previously, micro operations means very small operations. However, as far as the multiplication and division are concerned, we need some complex operations. Okay, some complex operations. That is why we are not considering them as micro operations. However, for addition as well as subtraction, these shall be considered as micro operations because they shall be carried out very easily. Similarly, some of the additional arithmetic micro operations are add with carry, subtract with borrow, transfer or load. Transfer or load actually comes under register transfer language, register transfer micro operations. Okay. So now let us see what are the typical arithmetic micro operations. The first one is R3 assignment R1 plus R2. R3 assignment R1 plus R2. What does it mean? The content of R1, the content of R2 are added and the result is stored in R3. Next, R3 assignment R1 minus R2. The content of R2 is subtracted from the content of R1 and the result is stored in R3. R2 assignment R2 dash complement. So the content of R2 is complemented and stored in the same register. That is, it is going to overlap the available content. Next, R2 assignment R2 dash plus 1. The content of R2 has been complicated and 1 is added to the result. Then what we are going to get? We are going to get the 2's complement. Okay, isn't it? So the 2's complement is stored in the same register. Next one is R3 assignment R1 plus R2 dash plus 1. What does it mean? R2 dash plus 1 means 2's complement of R2. 2's complement of R2 we are going to perform, and then this 2's complement of R2 is added to R1. What does it mean? It is indirectly means that R1 minus R2, and the result we are storing in R3. Next one is increment operation. So R1 assignment R1 plus 1, So R1 assignment R1 minus 1, decrement operation. These are the basic arithmetic micro operations we need to remember. Okay, these are the basic arithmetic operations we need to remember. Now let us see how to perform these arithmetic micro operations using basic building blocks. So these are the various circuits for performing the basic arithmetic operations. The first one is a 4-bit binary adder, 4-bit binary adder. The second one is a binary adder subtractor, which is going to perform both the addition operation as well as a subtraction operation. And the third one is a binary incrementer, binary incrementer. First, let us discuss about the 4-bit binary adder. 4-bit binary adder requires 4 full adders, 4 full adders. So what is meant by a full adder? You already know, you have studied in second year first semester in digital logic circuits. Okay, what is a full adder? So what is a full adder? It is going to take three inputs. That is a previous carry, and it is going to take two register values. So here A and B are two registers. So initially it is going to take the 0 bit of A, the 0 bit of B. So three inputs it is going to take, and it is going to produce two outputs. So that is any carry it is going to produce as well as the sum it is going to produce. Okay. So the carry it is going to produce will be connected to the next full adder. So like this, the full 4-bit binary adder circuit will look like. Now let us take one example and see how this is going to generate the output. For example, consider the addition of 0, 1, 0, 1 and 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So what does it mean? This is register A, this is register B. These are A0, A1, A2, A3. These values are B0, B1, B2, B3. So is there any previous carry? There is no previous carry. So previous carry is 0. And A0, B0 values are 1, 1. A1, B1 values 0, 0. A2, B2 values 1, 0. A3, B3 values 0, 0. So now perform the addition. Add 0 plus 1 plus 1. So the result is 1, 0. 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. So this carry will be 1 and the sum will be 0. Next, 1 plus 0 plus 0, 0, 1. So this carry will be 0. This sum will be 1, 1. Next, 1 plus 0 plus 0, 0 plus 1 plus 0, 1. That is 0, 1, 1. Finally, 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0, 0. Okay. So now what will be the result? The result will be the S3, S1, S3, S2, S1, S0. S3, S1, S2, S0. This will be the result. That is, so 0, 1, 1, 0. 0, 1, 1, 0. So this value is 5, this value is 1, and the result is 6. So like this, it is going to perform the additions. A 4-bit adder is going to perform the additions. So we may extend this 4-bit adder to n-bit adder. So based on the number of bits that are available in a register, so accordingly it is going to perform the addition. Okay. Next, let us move on to the binary adder subtractor. The binary adder subtractor is going to perform both the addition operation, as well as the subtraction operation. So how it is going to perform both the addition operation as well as the subtraction operation is, so by using the exclusive OR gate. Okay. So what is the truth table for XOR XY? 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 0. So this is the truth table for XOR operation. Okay. So here, if you observe carefully, so whenever the second value is actually 0, the second value is 0, that is the y value is 0, we are getting the same number, okay. So 0 0 we are getting 0, that is we are getting this 0, and for 1 0 we are getting 1, that is this 1, okay. So what does it mean? So whenever the input is 0, so then we are getting the same value, so that is why, so for addition, what we are going to do is we will make this m value, as 0, so whenever we make this m value as 0, then the exclusive OR operation will be performed between B0 and m. What is the m value? M value is 0. So the B0 value will be preserved. So this value is B0. This value is m. So whatever the B0 value, the same value will be preserved. Yes or no? Because we made m as 0. Okay. So let us see once again. It will be somewhat confusing. So here you may observe that consider this line 0 0 0, and consider this line 1 0 1. Okay. So for addition, we should pass the m value as 0. Okay. So this is the m value, and this is the B0 value. Then what we are getting? We are getting the same value. That is same B0 value. Then now the circuit will be converted as 4-bit binary adder. Because we are not changing the B0 value. Okay. So that we have already seen how to perform addition operation using 4-bit adder. So whenever m is equal to 0, then this entire circuit is going to become a 4-bit binary adder. Okay. So now let us consider whenever the value of m is 1, then it is going to become the 4-bit binary subtractor. Okay. Now consider the remaining two values 0 1 1, 1 1 0. So this is the B0 value, this is the m value. What we are getting? We are getting the reverse values. 0 has become 1, and this 1 has become 0. Okay. 0 has become 1, this 1 has become 0. Okay. So now what is the value of m? The value of m is 1. Then it will become as a subtractor. Okay. So now let us see. Let us consider one example, and then see how the subtraction operation is performed. Okay. Let us assume the register A contains 0 1 1 1, and the register B contains 0 0 0 1. What does it mean? 7 minus 1. We should get 6. Okay. So now as far as the register A is concerned, there is no changes at all. So this is A0, A1, A2, A3. So A0 is 1, A1 1, A2 1, A3 0. No changes. Okay. So So as far as the carry is concerned, we are passing in the circuit, we are passing m value as carry, m value as carry. So what is the m value? At present for subtractor, m value is 1. So initial carry will be 1. Okay. Now before actually performing the subtraction operation, let us have the 2's complement of b. 2's complement of b, because for subtraction, how we are going to perform? The content of register A plus 2's complement of the content of register B. So what is the 2's complement value of B? So initially there is 1. So we come across with 1 and then exchange all the values 1, 1, 1. So this is the 2's complement equivalent of B. So now this exclusive OR gate is going to convert this B value into 2's complement representation. How? Let us see. So what is the initial values of B0, B1, B2, B3, 1, 0, 0, 0. These are the initial values. Okay. Now this is 1. B0 value is 1. And what is the second value we are passing to exclusive OR gate? So what is the M value? M value is 1. Okay. So whenever 1, 1, what is the result? 0 is the result. 0 is the result. Okay. So however, because M value is 1, if we add this 1 and this 0, then it will become 1 plus 0 as 1. So with this we have got this particular 1 value. Okay, this 1 value. So now add these 3 values. You have to add these 3 values. So what are the 3 values? 1 plus 1 plus this 0. Okay. So I'll write here. What is the A value? 0, 1, 1, 1. B value 1, 1, 1, 1. B value means here 2's complement of B value. Now we need to add these two. So 1 plus 0. 1 plus 1. So how what is the result? 1, 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 1, 0. So carry is 1 and S0 is 0. Okay. Next. Now coming to this B1 value 0, M value 1. Okay. So 0, 1, the result is 0 and exclusive OR is 1. So what values we should add now? 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3 ones. 3 ones is 1, 1. 1, 1. Now once again we need to consider this B2 value. B2 is 0. M is 1. So 0, 1. 0, 1 will be 1. Now add 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1, 1, 1. This one, this one. Okay. Next, this is 0, this is 1. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 0 plus 1. 1, 0. 1, 0. Finally, we are going at 1. Okay. So this 1, 0. This carry is discarded. Discard carry. Discard carry. Now what will be the result? 0, 1, 1, 0. 0, 1, 1, 0. What is the value of 0, 1, 1, 0? 0, 1, 2, 4. 0, 1, 2, 4, 8. Okay. So what is the value? Plus 6. Plus 6. We have got the correct value. Okay. Like this, it acts as a subtractor. Okay. So what is the main logic here? This M is the main logic here. Whenever M is equal to 0, this circuit actually works as binary adder, and whenever m is equal to 1, the same circuit will act as a binary subtractor, okay. So that is the main logic. So in addition to that, we are going to use exclusive OR gate, whenever m is equal to 0, the exclusive OR gate is going to produce the same value. Whenever m is equal to 1, it is going to produce the reverse value, okay. So using that property, we can construct a binary adder subtractor circuit, okay. Next, let us consider how a binary incrementer works, okay. So to implement a binary incrementer, we don't need a full adder, we need only half adder. So you already know how a half adder works. So you have studied in the second year first semester. So what is the difference between a full adder and half adder? Full adder is going to take 3 inputs and give 2 outputs, whereas half adder is going to take 2 inputs and give 2 outputs, okay. So now let us consider how it works by taking an example. For example, 0 0 1 1. Assume the content of register A is 0 0 1 1. So what is meant by incrementer? Just we are going to add plus 1. So then what are the values of A0, A1, A2, A3, 1, 1, 0, 0. And this one, how we are going to add is directly we are going to input one value to y, okay. So now 1 plus 1 is 1 0, so this one will be moved to here, okay, for the value of y. Then 1 plus 1, this is 1 0. Then once again 1 plus 1, 1 0, 1 0. This one will be moved here. 0 plus 1 is 1, or we can say 0 1. So 0 1, this is 0. Finally 0 plus 0 is 0, and carry is 0, okay. So 0 0. So what is the result? 0 1 0 0, 0 1 0 0. So 0 0 1 1 means 3, 0 1 0 0 means 4. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So like this a binary incrementer will work. So these are the basic arithmetic operations we are going to perform. To perform addition operation, we need a 4-bit binary adder. To perform addition as well as subtraction, we need a binary adder subtractor. So it acts as both adder as well as subtractor based on the m value. And for performing the increment operation means, so whatever the value of the register, we are going to add plus 1. Then we need a binary incrementer. Okay. So using these circuits, we are going to perform the addition as well as subtraction as well as the increment operations. So that's all about today's class. We will continue the next topics in the next class. Hope you understand the concept. That's all for now.